Happy Sunday evening, Clinton County, Wilmington, Ohio, 45177. So, um, long time Common Pleas Court, Clinton County, Wilmington, Ohio, 45177. Municipal Court Judge, and then Common Pleas Court Judge. I imagine that was some pretty strategic placing there. Uh, my guess, my opinion. Uh, but based off recent behavior and anyone thinking that that is in a secluded incident, you're just simply dumb. Um, there's been complaints. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. But I do know there's 18. I think I counted. I went back and I counted 18 counts of misconduct, and they're going under three areas of the code, I guess, that they're going to they are trying to charge him with. So, what else is happening with that? Well, um, when you look at that rant, there's some things mentioned. One of those things is something that I've been honing in on now for 3 years, maybe a little longer, and persistence will pay. It has paid beyond anyone's imagination. This I assure you. So these a lot of these people are so used to getting away with their reckless actions and not having any, being accountable for any of their reckless actions. Well, uh, that's coming to a complete halt. They're going to be held accountable. Not only that, the other people that were involved in some of their scams are now open to scrutiny. That's that's for sure. So what was mentioned in Judge Ruddock's social media rant? Well, in my case, piece that my individual chapter of his rant went on to speak about the foreclosure of my house. And well, uh, you just opened the doors for some shit there, buddy. Because not only did what was it spoke about in something so unethically, uh, so unbecoming of a judge, it was lies. So, and I've proven that to other people. Not only that, I've actually proven it to people who count, who matter, that aren't this part of this man's following. Well, I have a feeling some of that following is dropping off like flies now, because now they're starting to see this fucking guy for what he really is, and that's his own actions, not mine. Did I bring to the attention of the entire council and the entire community about how he aided, by way of decision, a bank, and then the little the little bobblehead. I see you didn't appeal. Well, yeah, you know what, man? I was listening to another dumbass Clinton County lawyer that was in the bag for you numbnuts. It's not hard to see. I mean, most people, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that alone because it's going to be. Let's just say we can probably safely say that's going to be reviewed. That case, that's going to be reviewed by eyes that they're going to take a look at actions, uh, facts. I have a feeling that this is going to like those dominoes that I used to preach about. Those things are falling like crazy now, and I would imagine that that's probably overwhelmington or overwhelming overwhelmington. That's a new name for Wilmington, overwhelmington. So I can safely tell you that it is being reviewed. So um, um, I would imagine if they're going after this guy for 18 counts, and that's just what they found. I would imagine in their code, but then they're probably going to go even deeper and dissect and pick out other things. Well, gee, let's talk about this case that you mentioned, sir. You mentioned this case and the payment, the missed payments and things of this nature. Well, we come to find out that was a lot. That's a lie. So there was lots of lies told, and that's what these people do. And what's sickening and fascinating is there's a following, and oh well, uh, Satan can do nice things for you. Satan will do nice things for you, but in the end, guess what? You belong to him, um, or he'll damn sure try to make sure that you do. Um, but God works in mysterious ways. He's working hard here. He's not working hard. He's just doing things in his own sweet time. And I believe that my family is going to see justice. I believe this. There's not a doubt in my mind. There's not a doubt in my mind. And at the end of the day, I'm going to stand tall and say this is what persistence gives you. This is what not laying down and allowing tyrants to piss on you and try to intimidate you with false arrest and threats. Don't make me hurt you, Tony. Well, um, anyway, bottom line is this: um, justice is going to be. I can't imagine them not like wanting to dig in a lot of this guy's cases. Um, he specifically mentioned mine verbatim. I mean, so uh, it's. I have a feeling once they review it, they're going to be like, um, "What? What?" See, there's another law firm involved here. They're a bunch of little crooked bastards too. I mean, you can just go to Lebanon, Ohio, and say that name, that family name, and like they'll laugh you out. I mean, it's sort of like probably like what it's going to be like here in Wilmington pretty damn soon. I mean, Paul Herdman, go to Lebanon and Ohio and mention that guy's name to some of the old school business owners or old school lawyers that are in that area. They're gonna hell. There's lawyers here that call him a shyster, and that's the guy who had the bank, who ran the bank, was the president of the bank, president of the law firm, and a former judge that rubbed elbows with these numbnuts over here. And so it made sense for them to get rid of that crime that would have more than likely shut them down. Who knows? It still might. Um, I hope it does. I really do because you know there's others with their hands in this. So I can't wait because I mean it's if I'm going to think there is a person that in the very beginning sort of steered me, and she's awesome. Um, and when this is all said and done, I'm. It was sort of like Tony, psh, break the glass on the fire alarm and turn me loose. That's kind of what happened. Um, it didn't take me long. There was a couple of lawyers that actually said, "Hey, Tony, come here." Um, so I mean, I'm glad to see that there's. It made me happy to see that there's people that still weren't, like that still didn't shit on their oath. These people hold their hand to God and swear on a Bible, and it's kind of obvious in their actions that none of that means anything anyway. It's sort of like just going through motions. But you're swearing an oath to uphold the law and do it with integrity and honor and not harm people. And these people they've harmed people, and it's purposely. And some of these people are now biting back. And with today's technology, man, it's. I mean, hey, it wasn't me that made that cast an easy ruling for another set of criminals to get away with a crime. That wasn't me. It wasn't me that talked to another lawyer who's seen a crime and actually spelled it out into having his client not file an appeal. like these people did, like I know they did. That wasn't me. And from what I know, I mean, I've done a lot of research on Mr. Rick Getke, who was my attorney, and that guy is very, very brilliant. And I got to tell you, when he first saw this crime, he was like, he was like, he had like, wow, he was just like shocked. It's like he had never seen anything like that. In fact, he explained to me that he had never seen anything so bad in his life. He said that was the worst case he'd ever seen in his life, and his 20 plus years in working for and against banks, and that's pretty significant, man. And then you can look at that guy and tell he's pretty brilliant. I mean, it's not, it's sort of like that's his, that's his aura. I mean, but then after that little meeting with Ruddick and the other shitbag over there in Lebanon, all of a sudden it just, it doesn't matter, Tony. Um, doesn't matter. And it's not going to do any good to appeal, Tony. It's not going to do any good. Well, it turns out it would have, and that was the whole scam. Make sure he doesn't appeal. Talk him out of appealing. Steer him away from appealing. If it's not mentioned, steer him away from it. And that's what he did. That's exactly what he did. You're not going to tell me otherwise, because the way this guy talked about this crime, I mean, he was pretty adamant. Like, I mean, he started like opening up all these books and showing us all these, I mean, these case laws and these. Oh man, he was just like it was like this machine. But then all of a sudden, doesn't matter, Tony. Doesn't matter. Well, Mr. Getke, I think we're going to find that it did, and that it does, and that it will. Um, that's a fabulous thing, about the law. I mean, if you've seen cases that are 50 years old. All it takes is the right eyes, the right people to see it, and they can overturn shit like that. That's what they do, especially if it shouldn't have been done that way to begin with. So I look forward to this. I really do, because I mean, I think I'm going to go to those hearings. I really am. I want to see how. I really want to see if there even is hearings. My guess, I bet there won't be. I bet, yeah, I screwed up, slap me on the wrist, suspend me for whatever. But you know what? The shitbag will just, he'll retire a disgraced judge. Oh, I'm perfect. I'm a good person. I'm good people. But yeah, here I am, got 19 charges against me. Okie dokie. Um, I got to tell you, if one of my kids were to have done some stupid shit like was being uh, was being defined in that social media rant, I got to tell you, nah. I think, hey, Alec, you out there throwing hammers at your kids? What? I would hand walk my son to the wizard himself and say, hey, Doc, check this guy, check him out, man. I mean, he sat and processed a game, not a game, a teaching, a period of instruction that involved throwing hammers at his child. And it was to show you that the brain will not allow you to harm yourself. Well, we all know that's flawed, right? Because the brain will absolutely let you harm yourself. I mean, suicide, those people that like carve themselves. Yeah. So I don't know if that was just something that was made up to make it sound good. I don't know. Either way, I mean, the process of, I can't sit there and say, take off running, kid. I'm throwing this fucking hammer at you. Dodge it. There's people out there that will try to spin that and make a joke out of it. But there's nothing funny about that. You're some sick, demented individuals if you think that's funny. I mean, you really are. And well, it goes to show you that birds of the feather flock together. I got to tell you, I mean, if that was, Joe Schmo down here, 3 houses down, seen out in his yard chucking a hammer at his kid. He's going to get carted away, probably in a straitjacket, and put on a 72-hour hold for a psyche eval, and then I, I don't know. I mean, hey, you were sitting there, and all of a sudden you chose a hammer. There's basketballs, there's footballs, there's baseballs, there's balloons, there's socks you can roll up, there's dirt. You picked a hammer. So laugh away. I mean, to those of you who think that's funny, I mean, people now look at you with I mean, sound people look at you the same that they look at this dude, and then to use the death of another judge as an excuse. I can tell you right now, if my best friend, and by the way, I don't give two shits what anybody says. I went to church with Judge Dowry for 7 years, 6 years maybe, and that friendship that was supposedly, let me tell you, yeah, it wasn't there. If that was the perception, that's not what a few of us gathered in church. That was not the relationship that one would gather after having coffee and donuts in the men's meetings, because you just mentioned that name. It's I mean, not touching that one, but again, yeah, that whole damn rant, it was just like, wow, as if I mean, well, I can't wait to see how they handle it. I know there's a judge in Cleveland that just got suspended for quite some time for being reckless. I think Ohio's going to make a. I think Ohio's starting to make. They're getting pissed off for having the reputation of being corrupt and reckless, when there's a lot of damn good lawyers out there who are damn good lawyers and would love to practice with honor and integrity. And not be that sniveling little shitbag hiding in the corners and in dark little rooms and offices making side deals, trying to fucking rob people, trying to steal their homes, not contacting the next of kin, or making a good faith effort in doing so, allowing children to sleep in unsafe places and not doing a damn thing just because it might be a buddy or something like that. See, you know what? That's the kind of bullshit that leads to Joe Biden. I'm being political right now. I don't like doing that, but anybody that saw that train wreck the other night and is going to go to a booth and cast a vote for a guy that can't even talk, you're inviting. Our nation became the world became more dangerous that night. Some may not. Some may think that's extreme. No, trust me when I tell you, our enemies watched that night and they're like, wow. Uh, we better do something before the next guy gets elected, because right now they're pretty damn weak. Look, the guy can't even talk. So but it starts off in little areas, and it's allowed to grow, and we've tolerated so much, and allowed it just because we don't want some loudmouth fucking spaz screaming in our faces. I mean, who cares? Let them scream, man. Right's right and wrong's wrong. But and there again, again, there's going to be a review, folks, and I can't wait, because I did have help from a lawyer, and I can't. The way it's presented, I think that case is going to get another look. Who knows? Maybe a lot of cases might get another look. I mean, you got some guy that just simply openly screamed, "I don't care about the consequences." Really? Well, you're supposed to. Anyway, I thank God Many people have prayed about this. Um, I've been to veteran halls, and I've showed the proof of this this shenanigan. Um, so yeah, wow. Glory be to God. Praise Jesus. I mean that with all my heart. Um, they say crime never pays. It does pay. It does until it doesn't. Simplifying God blessings to the people out there that have been paying attention to this and seeing what this piece of shit put my family through, what these bastards put my family through, especially after the VA kind of guaranteed, while they took me off my. I mean, a government entity removed me from my position. The same government entity composed a letter and provided to this financial institution stating this gentleman is his rating is going to drastically change, and we're going to ensure that all their arrears are taken care of out of what we before we pay him, and we would have. There's a chance, this anyway. That bank said no. Let that sit in. Well, why did they say no? Well, because it was like Rick Gecky said, the entire thing was a criminal act to begin with, and technology was catching up. And had the OCC and the FDIC seen that on their books, they would have highly questioned it and probably uh, scrutinized the shit out of them. Maybe shut them or threatened to shut them down like they did here in Wilmington Savings. I don't know, but when you swear an oath to uphold the Constitution and do right by the law and act with integrity and honor, you should really do it. You should really do it and stay out of the pockets of people, stay out of the favors of people, and not threaten people. The world would be a better place. Really would. I hope. I'm not gonna let that cut out of the bag yet. But nah, I'm not gonna let that cut out of the bag. Let's just say it might be a close family member of mine becoming a lawyer as we speak. Simplify and God bless. I pray for all my leaders, good or bad, because you're supposed to. I pray for their families. I pray for their safety. I pray for ongoing leadership. Um, I hope I hope their decisions are led by light and not the darkness at all times, and not led by a bottle, a pipe, uh, a pill. No, we can't have that. And I'm not saying that it has been that way, but there was, a text that was sent stating that there was some drug addiction going on while one of these shitbirds were employed by the city. Got that dated stamp. Anybody want to see that one? Matt. Oh, you got it. That's right. Simplify. God bless. I pray for everyone. If you want to be a shitbag, just don't do it serving people, and don't do it off their backs. You want to be a thief? Go be a thief, man. You want to be a drug addict? Go be a drug addict. But don't be in a position where you have to act with integrity and honor. I mean, because I drank. I've done drugs when I was, long ago and a kid, but I grew up. I did this magical thing called growing up and learning a lesson. Was accountable, became accountable for my actions, and Paris Island certainly straightened me out. Simplify, God bless, and be better, Wilmington. Be better. Leadership.